There's been international condemnation of Russia after the two men suspected of carrying out the Salisbury nerve agent attack 3 years ago were implicated in a deadly explosion in the Czech Republic in 2014. The Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says the revelation shows a disturbing pattern of behavior by Moscow, while the White House has criticized what it says are subversive actions by the Russian state. Czech officials are now expelling 18 Russian diplomats, a move Moscow says is absurd, and in retaliation is now expelling 20 Czech diplomats.
What should have been joyful traditional New Year holiday in Myanmar has turned into bloodshed. According to Myanmar's media outlet Irrawaddy on Sunday local time, at least 26 citizens were killed during the holidays, bringing the death toll to 738 since the February 1st coup. The death toll is expected to rise further as many of injured are in critical condition or are still missing. Up until last year, the 5-day Tinjan Water Festival saw people celebrating in the streets, splashing water on each other to wish good luck. But this year, celebrations were called off to honor those killed by the military junta and to stage peaceful protests against the dictatorship. That didn't stop the regime from cracking down on the peaceful protests.
Well, amid a relatively quiet period between Israel and Gaza, tensions escalating over the weekend with not one but two rocket incidents. On Friday night, a rocket fired toward Israel from the Gaza Strip, landing in open territory. There were no reports of injuries or damage, but the launch did trigger red alert sirens in the surrounding communities. In response, Israeli aircraft hit a series of Hamas targets in Gaza, like a Hamas training camp and a factory producing cement to construct infiltration tunnels. One day earlier on Thursday, another rocket was launched from the Strip toward Israel, with no injuries or damage reported in that case as well. The IDF also responding with airstrikes on Hamas positions in the Strip.
At least 11 people were killed and nearly 100 injured on Sunday in a train accident in Egypt's Kaliubia province north of Cairo, according to a statement by the health ministry. Egyptian National Railways released a statement that said the train was heading from Cairo to the Nile Delta city of Mansoura when 4 carriages derailed at 1:54 p.m., about 25 miles north of Cairo. The cause of the accident is being investigated. More than 50 ambulances took the injured to 3 hospitals in the province. The derailing is the latest of several recent railway crashes in Egypt. At least 20 people were killed and nearly 200 were injured in March when 2 trains collided near Tata.
Three people were killed and 2 others wounded when a shooting erupted early Sunday morning in Kenosha County, Wisconsin, the latest in a recent spate of shootings across the U.S. Authorities said the shooting appeared to be a targeted and isolated incident. Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth said that at 12:40 a.m. there was a disturbance at Summers House Bar and a person was removed, adding that that person possibly came back a short time later.
I can confirm that there are 3 people that have died from this shooting. 2 actually at the Summers House, and 1 was actually jumped into a car and in traveled southbound on Sheridan Road, and that subject passed away too.
Five people were shot and critically injured during a drive-by shooting in Louisiana on Sunday evening. That's according to local TV reports. Station KCLA also says it took place at a Shreveport liquor store. Reports say police described the injuries of the victims as life-threatening. All five have since been hospitalized. KSLA also reported that the police were on the lookout for a white Ford car. Reuters was not immediately able to contact Shreveport police or the local mayor's office. The incident is the third mass shooting reported within 24 hours in the United States. Earlier on Sunday, 3 people were shot dead at an apartment complex in Austin, Texas. Authorities were reportedly still hunting for a former deputy sheriff in connection to that shooting.
Supporters of Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan will not be silenced. Known as TLP, they started protesting last year after caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad were republished in France. Then, last week, they protested after the government arrested their leader, cleric Saad Rizvi. He had demanded the French ambassador in Pakistan be expelled and a ban on French products. Those protests resulted in the government outlawing TLP, which led to more protests. On Sunday, a party spokesman said security forces raided their offices in Lahore. They responded again on the streets. In all, several of their supporters were killed and dozens were injured.
Old plane. Check this out. A restored dive bomber made a splash landing at Cocoa Beach in Florida. Can you imagine? You're just hanging out, you got your sunscreen, and this happens. The TBM Avenger was taking part in an air show when the engine just cut out. The pilot was the only one on board. He managed to bring the plane down without anybody getting hurt. The plane returned to flight just last year after an extensive rehab. An investigation is now, as you can imagine, underway as to why that engine
Houston police say a deadly car crash involving a Tesla vehicle was believed to have been operating without a driver at the time of the incident on Saturday. The crash comes amid growing scrutiny over Tesla's semi-automated driving system following several recent accidents. According to local media reports, the 2019 Tesla Model S was moving at a high rate of speed when it failed to round a curve, speeding off the roadway, crashing into a tree, and bursting into flames. Authorities say there was no one in the driver's seat. After the fire was extinguished, authorities found one occupant in the front passenger seat and one in the back. Tesla and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration did not immediately respond to a request for comment.